What's up guys, my name is Adrian Rivera and today I'm going to show you 5 tips for vocal mixing to make your music sound more like this.
Hoping everyone gon' listen to your sound, we gon' beat the competition. This game got a young and new edition, getting followers like we the new religion, yeah.
So a little disclaimer, this video is meant for the people that already know a little bit about vocal mixing. So if you're not one of those people, you're just a beginner, I got a video up here all about making your vocals sound professional, so go check that out. And sorry if I look a little tired guys, I've been going to sleep kind of late these past couple of days because I've been playing video games with the people I love, so you know, gotta spend some time with the family. But enough rambling, let me get on with the first tip. Tip number 1 is EQing your reverb. Now I'm sure this happens to all of us. We put on a little bit of reverb on our vocals, but for some reason the reverb leaves a little bit of like a metallic artifact, and that sound is just not something that we want on there. So a nice little tip for you guys is to add EQ after you add reverb on your vocal track. That way you can look for the frequencies that are making that metallic noise and cancel it out a little bit by bringing down some of the frequencies on your EQ. Trust me, I've done it for a lot of songs and this just cleans up the vocal a lot better so you can have a nicer sounding reverb. Tip number 2 is adding a little bit of a high shelf on your vocals. So if you go into your EQ, a high shelf should look something like this. Now essentially what this is going to do is that these frequencies are going to be brought up a little bit, so it adds a little bit more shine into your voice. Now you might have a microphone that already records a lot of that high frequency range and records it well. My microphone is a little bit more on the warmer tone side. I have the Shure SM58, and if you guys are wondering, I have a link in the description so you can check it out if you're looking for a microphone. But anyway, that microphone is a lot more warmer in tone, and for me personally, I like it when my voice has a little bit more shine to it. So adding a high shelf brings out those frequencies a lot more, so it just sounds a lot more crisp and clear. Now with that being said, this leads me into my next tip, which is tip number 3. Use de-essers. Now a de-esser is a plugin that removes a lot of the harsh s and t sounds when you sing, and a lot of times after you put a high shelf on your vocals, you'll notice that those frequencies are just ear piercing and it just doesn't sound good with the rest of your mix. So having a de-esser will actually remove some of those harsh s and t sounds so things sit a lot better in your mix. Now the de-esser plugin I use is called Spitfish, and I'll leave a link in the description for you guys. It's a completely free VST and it's super simple to use, and I use it all the time for my vocals. Adding a de-esser will just help clean it up so much, and people will enjoy listening to your music a lot more when it's not hurting their ears. Now tip number 4 is adding a little bit of distortion. I've added distortion in some of my songs before, one of which is called Runnin'. Here's a little clip from the music video.
We've only just begun, and even though our words are rolling off their tongues.
But what I want you to take away from that clip is how you hear the vocals is a little bit distorted. A lot of the reason for that is a stylistic effect because I wanted something different for the pre-chorus before it went into the chorus. But distortion actually helps bring out the presence of the vocal a lot more because it does make it a little bit louder. Now you don't have to go crazy with the distortion and make it sound so blown out, but adding even a little bit of distortion, the slightest, so that it creates a lot more presence, makes your vocals and your song in general sound a lot better because those vocals are more prominent and you can hear them better. Now I know FL Studio has a lot of ways you can distort vocals, one of which being blood overdrive, which I usually use, but there's also a wave shaper that also adds that too. Tip number 5, which you guys might think sounds corny or obvious, is just to keep practicing more. And whenever somebody messages me about how to do something or how to make things sound better, one thing I always tell them is just to keep practicing. And if you guys want to DM me and ask me any questions, I'm open for it. I have links to my Twitter and Instagram in the description, so if you want to shoot me a message, just message me on those platforms. But anyway, practicing is just going to train your ear to pick out sounds that don't sound good or do sound good, and overall help you understand mixing vocals a lot more. A lot of these tips that I've told you guys I've known for a long time, but the reason why they're so effective is because I practice every single day making music using these techniques, and because I had enough time to expose myself to this and train myself to hear things that I didn't before, I've been able to use these techniques to my advantage to make my vocals sound the best that I could. So practice is something that you guys need to do all the time. You can learn the most professional vocal mixing techniques, but the thing is you need to practice in order to understand them and actually make them useful for yourself. So I can't stress it enough guys, just keep practicing, keep learning, and keep doing what you're doing. Don't get frustrated if it's taking a while for you to understand everything, because everybody goes at their own pace, and with enough practice, trust me, you're gonna get there. So those were my 5 tips for vocal mixing. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a like. If you want to see more of this kind of content, leave a subscribe and turn on the bell notification icon to be notified every time I upload a new video. I always try to make my content as best as I can for you guys and as simple as I can so it's easier for you to understand. So if you need help learning how to make music, make sure you check out my other videos because I can assure you, you will learn so much. Leave a comment and tell me which tip you're going to be using first. And also, let me know what you guys want to see next. Like I said, check out my Instagram and Twitter. DM me if you guys have any questions or leave a comment. I always reply to DMs, so I'll get back to you as fast as I can. And keep creating. I love it when people send me their music because it's so dope seeing what other people have to offer. Anyways guys, thanks for watching and don't be afraid to show your genius.